guess we'll get right into it. Today, we're joined by, as John Siteman said, a Saskatchewan legend, somebody I've known for a few years, and I know Darryl's pretty tight with them, and that would be Alex Scott. Thanks for joining us today, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, dudes. How are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, good, man.
Very, very well. Thanks for having me on.
I guess we'll get started off with a softball here. The same one I like to ask everybody, just so everybody gets to know a little bit about yourself. Who are you today?
Who am I today?
Yeah.
I guess I'll be myself today, but I'm Alex Scott. I'm from Saskatchewan, and I've been lawn bowling in this game for like 24 years, just kind of holding it down in Saskatoon.
Damn, man, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's long enough.
So Al, how are things in Saskatchewan? I mean, with Luke and I being in Ontario, we see kind of an Ontario perspective of all the weirdness that's going on right now. What is it like out where you
are? It's kind of ramping up slowly, but man, you can't wipe your butt. You can't find any TV in this town. It's actually insane. Like Costco lineups are out of control, and I don't know. I'm just staying away from all of it. I'm stocked, and we're just hanging out, getting ready for the season.
Cool.
Yeah, fair enough. I almost feel bad about the whole situation, just for the people who aren't as worried and can't go out and get stuff. So I feel bad for those people. But
yeah, man, people are crazy out here. They need to calm down and work together more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another question for you. Why bowls? So to get right back to it, you've been bowling since you were really young. Well, fairly young, I'd say. In Saskatchewan, with bowling being, fairly small in respect to other sports, why did you get into bowls, and why do you still bowl now?
Yeah, honestly, I was like 10 years old, and my grandparents had been long-standing members with the Newtown Lawn Bowling Club. So they took me out on a random weekend one day, and started hucking and chucking them down, and I caught on pretty quick, and decided that it was a sport that I would be competitive at for sure.
Awesome.
And over the years, I don't know, the more success that I found, I just managed to keep trucking with it. I found a bunch of new teammates to bowl with. We found a lot of success together and a lot of new opportunities. And that's kind of where I'm at today. It's been a crazy couple decades, which is a terribly old thing to say, but
yeah,
it's been a time. And I feel like a chapter is closed and new life things are happening, and I'm just excited to get going on something new again.
What would you say you think your favorite moment in bowls has been over all the international events, national, provincial events? What would you think would be your favorite moment?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I would say if I had to pick one, I mean, you always remember the first time you win a Canadian. So 2014 was a big deal for me when we took home our first Canadian Championship gold. The year after was another big deal when me and the Patulli brothers and Grant Wilkie won the fours together. We'd been working towards that goal for a very long time, and we finally made that happen. And then Bowls Canada decided they should send us four to Hong Kong, which might have been a huge mistake. But yeah, other than that, U25s was a big deal as well. I went to Australia back in 2008 and just met some amazing people all over the world, and it pretty much blew my mind what's going on out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Though that's a couple of good examples, but I could give you 50 more if you have the time.
All right. Well, we'll avoid the 50 more. But what do you think would be your worst experience?
I'd say the worst experience from a bowls perspective was I remember losing to Dylan Jacobs in the under 25s in 2009 in my home club.
Yeah.
in the gold medal finals. So I was going for the trifecta, and I'm like, man, 3 times the charm at my own host club. Everyone's cheering me on. No one wants Dylan to win. And then the guy beat me in a tiebreak. He was so clutch, and that was a heartbreaker. And I'd say another one was 2013 when me and John Patulli lost out in the pairs after hilariously getting bounced out of the tournament from Michael and Murray Patulli. And then we had a rematch with them in the bronze medal, and they beat us by 1 point again. And we smashed them in provincials. They shouldn't have even been there, but they were there. Everything.
It's amazing how that happens, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. Two bad moments, but we recovered. We'll be okay.
Yeah, man. Everyone has bad moments. So.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to ask you about something you put out recently. Bulls Canada published your article. Has a nice picture of you on there. I thought it was a great article. I thought you did a really fantastic job. What inspired you to write that, and what was, I guess, what did you hope to portray by posting that?
I guess the inspiration came from just I'm part of the marketing campaign with Bulls Canada, and we were kind of putting our heads together to figure out what we can release in the off season. And I've decided I really like writing. I really like telling stories because a lot of people have their own versions and amazing things to say. And that was the inspiration behind it. Valentine's Day was approaching, so I thought it would be a good fitting spin to release something on Lover's Day only and see if it would kind of catch on. And I think a lot of people read it, a lot of people liked it, and I was just happy to kind of give a snapshot of some really cool things that I've done, some terrible things that happened, and kind of where we're at now.
Awesome, man. That's good.
Yeah, it was fun.
So tying into that, you mentioned that you're part of the marketing team. I know you've been part of a lot of different things in Bulls. Give us sort of a brief snapshot of some of the stuff you've been a part of, and what kind of stuff are you hoping to do now that you're on the marketing team with Bulls Canada?
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of marketing work at home here, and because of that, myself and many others started a recreational league, rec league. It's a beer league.
Okay.
In town here, and it's about 6 or 7 years running, and last year it sold out in 20 minutes, and we're getting like
Wow.
90 to 100 people a week, all around our age group, just looking for something to do every week and hang out with some friends. And so that was a big deal from a marketing standpoint. We're really trying to grow the game here in Saskatoon, and it's kind of catching on. We're just looking for a few more members, but the arrow is definitely pointing up. Other than that, I'm looking to keep coaching. I run an annual development clinic here at the club,
Nice.
just for a bunch of bowlers who want to get better, and that's important. Some people enter provincials, but they don't really know what they're doing out there. They're just kind of throwing a bowl and hope it gets close. So I'm trying to give them some perspective on what's working and hope that they can keep grinding and maybe get some results one of these days.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good thing you guys got going on there. I've seen lots of pictures and videos and fun stuff out of there in the last couple of years. It looks like a good time for sure. And I mean, a lot of people are into beer, so beer league doesn't sound like such a bad thing either. So
no, man, it's a good way to break up the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as always, guys, everyone in the chat, I would like to just remind you all that if you have any questions for anybody, including Alex, don't be afraid to ask them, and we'll make sure he gets you the best answer he can give.
Perfect. As far as marketing goes with BCB, we're working hard right now. We got a big provincial council, and we're looking to collaborate across the country. So
Nice.
I think some good things are going to come down the pipe pretty soon, and communication's everything. So we're just trying to grow as much as possible.
I want to do something fun here.
Oh dear.
We did this with a few people. I'll let everybody else take a look. We'll just transition. Um, so we like to do a little deep dive into somebody's social media. We went to Facebook for Alex here. I wanted to throw up a few pictures, get his take on what it is, and hopefully a little bit of information on what that moment or what the people in the photo mean to him. So we'll start off with this one, with the red shirt with the collar popped.
Yep.
So what is this all about? And the white pants. I mean, the white pants.
Classic white pants.
Oh man. Yeah, that's me being severely outclassed out in the World Junior Cup in Warilla, Australia. That was my first ever time on a 17-second green, and
Wow.
I popped my collar for some real stupid reason, and yeah, I was ready to roll a bowl that was probably going to be 8 feet narrow and on the other green, but had a great time.
Question from John Siteman: was that the World Cup where you broke the jack in half?
Yes, it was. Actually, you know what? That might have been the year before. I'm trying to remember back-to-back years, but year 2 was when I broke it in 2009.
NAC picture with the full Team Canada. What? Give us some context on this, and what did this mean to you as a player?
Oh man, that was actually my last international event before I stepped down from the squad. So that was in Victoria, BC in 2012, and we had just decimated the United States of America.
Shout out to the USA team there, yeah.
Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out to Zangle and Neil Furman. They're real good guys. But yeah, Team Canada clicked that week. We won all the trophies, and it was such a good team. We were stacked that year, and as you can tell, you can see all the people in that picture. There's a lot of legitimate bowlers there who just we had an awesome time.
All
Good
right.
pick.
Yeah, I thought so. There's some weird guy over here with a black hat, but I don't know who that is.
And shout out Greg with the closed eyes.
Yeah, Darryl, you were part of that, man. Nailed it.
That was before the beard too, man. That's a while back.
Yeah, that's good.
What about this one?
That was a random practice match with my sister at the Nutana Lawn Bowling Club. She's pretty upset that I just beat her 21-20. So she's crying like a little baby because she could never beat her big brother.
Give us some context on the shirt. I saw a few pictures with this shirt on there, and I also put it as one of the teaser pictures for this show.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, that is one of many shirts that Tim Mason, Steve Santana, Jeff Pershik and company kickstarted out in BC. They're called the Bowls Brigade. I'm sure you guys know all about it.
Yeah.
And that's just one of their hilarious slogans: warning, no dumping allowed. And it just it's fitting because no one wants to dump their bowls. You're gonna ruin greens that way.
Right.
But yeah, just awesome times. They made so many great shirts, and they kind of created a really amazing culture across the world with these shirts, and it definitely caught on.
How about this one?
Oh, sweet. That was Victoria 2017 with Grant Wilkie and Murray Patuli. We had just vanquished Wainwright in the gold medal triples. And I hardly had to do anything that game. Murray was actually a machine. He was just drawing the cat clean every end, and Wilkie made some timely shots. And yeah, honestly, ain't no thing. That was number 3. That was number 3. 3
That's
and 4
awesome.
years. So we went on a pretty hot run for the last 4 years.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Now, speaking of a broken jack,
There it is.
Give us some
That's the
context
one.
on this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one John Seitman was talking about. I was rolling against Ralph de Rooij from the Netherlands, and he drew a beautiful shot right next to the cat, and all I had was a drive, so I hucked that puppy as hard as I could, and connected bull and cat, and it just exploded into pieces. And it's really cool because it was caught on video, so
Oh, nice, yeah.
it ended up being a pretty big deal for a little bit, just because jacks don't explode very often, and I'm convinced the ones in Australia were just kind of shittier, but because I've never done it since. It was
Yeah.
definitely a one-off, but it was cool. And I ended up getting 3 because of the biggest chunk of the jack went out of bounds, and I got 3 points because it got brought back in.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so bam.
And finally, this one.
Oh yeah, classic. That's 2011 championships in North York. We had just won the Cy English Trophy, which is one of the most underrated trophies in Canada. Everyone wants their hands on that puppy each year. And yeah, we decided to do a hilarious leapfrog to the podium. Murray, of course, would rather just watch the Young Bucks do it because...
Wanted no part of it over here, yeah?
Yeah, but you could zoom in on his face. He's loving every minute of it. And that was the youngest Saskatchewan team we ever had. So yeah, he's just loving life.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah,
Awesome.
we decided to do the leapfrog, and that's the youngest squad we ever had. So I think we had a pretty hilarious moment that time.
That's awesome.
Quick question from Cam LaFriends. He wants to know if you want to ever bowl for Canada again.
Yeah, I do actually.
Nice.
I don't know when. I have a 7-month-old infant, and just a lot of life changes. But yeah, I miss being part of the international scene, and I definitely know I can still roll with the boys. So one day, Cam, I'll keep you posted. I'd like to bowl with you one day anyway. So
Shout out Cam.
shout out to Cameron.
So what are your ambitions as far as bowls this year? What do you have planned going forward for 2020?
For sure. I'm looking to get my level 1 certification in the next few months. Just
Nice.
have a couple more courses to get, and I'm definitely looking to coordinate our bowls league again. It's a huge success throughout the summer, so I'll be active in that. And especially, I'm just excited to roll competitively. I haven't really been able to do that the last couple of years, so I'll be latching up with some familiar faces for the 4s and the pairs, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of you guys out there in Edmonton for nationals later on.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Be a good time for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Darryl.
I was just going to say, is there anything that you wanted to promote? I know obviously you're part of BCB, but even in Saskatchewan, is there anything personal to you that you want people to know about?
Not necessarily. I mean, we're all doing our thing to promote bowls as best as we can. So I think it's just in everyone's best interest to just network more. We're working on that a lot. Like, this podcast is huge. There's a lot of good exposure. Promo vids are being made, but there's still a lot of people that just aren't talking enough about the game and sharing stories and being involved on social media. And I think there's a huge way to go on that. From like international athletes to club level bowlers, there just needs to be a little bit more involvement. Like, you can't just roll bowls anymore if you want to grow the game. You have to network and talk to people and kind of make things happen, be a bit more accountable.
Right.
So yeah, everyone's going to do their thing in each province. I have nothing specific to promote, but I hope to continue to talk with more people throughout the season.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Darryl, do you got any more questions for Alex today?
No, he's exhausted me of all my questions and given some great answers. I can't thank him enough for that.
Awesome.
Well, with that being said, thanks very much for your time today, Alex. We really do appreciate it. We look forward to working with you because it seems like you got a pretty good head on your shoulders about this whole promoting the game thing. So if we can ever use your help or we can be as help to you, we would love to do that. And I hope you have a good day today.
Awesome, dudes. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, take care, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.